Ooh, shiny.
G'day boys and girls. I occasionally use this to cut some threads in my lathe, which is fine if you get it right, but if you don't get it right, you throw the part in the bin and you start again, and that's not good. So today I'm going to have a crack at making a sliding die holder to mount in the tailstock of the little lathe over there. So we'll begin by cutting this lump of aluminium in half, and then we'll chuck it in the lathe and we'll see what we can come up with. So the first thing we need to do is cut this off to the length we want it, which is about there. And you didn't really think I was going to use that, did you? Got my special aluminium cutting blade in the angle grinder here. We'll knock that off and put it in the lathe. So this is the piece we're going to use here. A little bit wonky with me cutting off with the angle grinder, but we'll chuck it in the lathe now and just neaten both ends up, and then we'll make a start on the outside diameter of it. So we'll bung that in here. A fair bit of stick out there, but it's only aluminium, so we'll just fire that up and see how see how true it's running, and if it's running okay, we'll just knock the end off it. Yeah, bugger all run out there, so we'll have a look at facing that off now. We'll just take small cuts too, so that we're not knocking it about too much. I've just added a bit of light here to this end of the lathe so you can see what I'm doing. Well, there we go, it's a nice finish on that end. We'll spin it round and do the other one. Apologies for the lack of footage there, because as everyone that owns a GoPro knows, that GoPro Hero 7 Blacks are pieces of junk. So what we'll do now is we'll run a 12mm hole through the guts of this thing, and I'm not going to worry about taking anything off the outside diameter. I'm just going to clean that up with emery paper and wet and dry, so that I don't get any steps in it because of I don't have a collet chuck, etc. Anyway, put a hole in there now. Okay, I've got a 12mm drill bit in the chuck. That's long enough to go right through there, but I don't have enough travel on my tailstock, so what I'm going to have to do is drill a little bit, back it out, move the tailstock forward, and then same till I get all the way through. Okay, we'll have a go at it. So what we've got to do now is we've got to bore a step in this to take that die. So we'll take a couple of measurements, then we'll put a boring bar in here and we'll nick the end out of it. So we've just mounted up our boring bar. The diameter that I've got to make for the die in there is 25mm, so we'll put a mark on here at about there. Give me somewhere to work to with the boring bar, and then we'll just measure it, and we've got to go in 8.9mm deep, so we'll get stuck into it. Well, there's a trap for young players that happened off camera. My boring bar, the underneath of it, caught on the edge of this and messed up my diameter there, so I've had to face it all off again, and I've had the boring bar on the grinder and taken the underneath of it off, so hopefully it fits this time. But anyway, I've faced it off. I've got a bit of a mark there where I want to go to. We'll put the boring bar back around there and have another crack. Well, there we have it. I've finally got a a hole bored in there that fits very nicely. So that's a really good fit in there. Yes, after much work and mucking about, person should know the limitations of their boring tools. I've had that boring bar out I reckon about 4 times and on the grinder so that it'll fit in there. But anyway, what we'll do now, I think we'll hit the outside of this with some emery paper and some wet and dry and just clean all that up and then flip it over and do the same so that we've got the same finish on each end, and then we'll take it over in the mill and we'll put some holes in it. So we'll wander over here to the mill now. I'm going to mount up that new little indexing head thingy I bought on the table of the mill. Okay, so the next plan of attack, I've got to drill 3 holes there for some set screws to hold the die in place. They're at I think 45 degrees apart, 3 of them. So we use the edge finder, find the centre, and then come in. What are we looking at? 4.45 mil will take us to the centre of that hole there. So okay, we'll start this up. So now we're in position. We'll centre drill that, and we'll put a 6 mil or a tapping drill for a 6 mil. I think it's 5 mil, and we'll drill those 3 holes. We'll set that on a very slow speed. There we go. I'll loosen that off. That was a an intermediate tap, so I've gone down far enough so that I've got full thread through the hole. We'll whip that out, we'll move it round and drill another one. Okay, we've got the second hole there in position. Eat, sleep and repeat. Right, I've got that one started. Chuck jaw's getting in the way, so I'll do that in the vise afterwards. We'll spin it round now and do the next one. So those 3 holes are drilled in the right spots now. I just spun it round off camera and finished the thread in that one. Now what we've got to be able to do, we've got to be able to grip this in the lathe when it's spinning. So I could knurl that, but everybody knurls that. I'm going to put some flutes in it along the length of it so that it looks a bit different, and you can't polish things up really shiny with a knurl on it. So anyway, we'll swap that out for the collet chuck, and we'll find a ball end mill that suits, and we'll run some flutes down it. Okay, I've got a ball end mill in there, and I know some of you guys will be saying you should have something supporting this under here, and yes I should, but I haven't got any jacks. They're my next project. And anyway, we'll sink that in, we'll move it along, we'll spin it round, we'll do a few more. I've got everything up there set at 0, so we know our starting points. We'll put this camera down and kick this machine in the guts and start doing it. We might just measure how far that is in from that end, and we'll stop at the same distance. So it's about 25 mil. So there's a look at what we're doing. I've just spun that round a bit. I think we'll put probably, I reckon if we put 12 of those little grooves in it all the way around, that means I spin it 30 degrees at a time and just gives you something to hang on to when you're gripping it in the lathe. So looks a bit different too. All right, we'll move it back to where it was and then move it around 30 degrees. So there you go, guys. That's the look I was trying to achieve. We'll pull that out of the chuck now and have a bit of a look at it. I could have put another hole in here for a Tommy bar. I don't think I'm going to need it because it's not as though I do any large threads at the moment. I am planning on making a fixed one at some stage, so if I need to do larger threads, I'll make another one of these, but an actual fixed one that I don't have to hang on to. Anyway, we'll pull that out and have a look. So there's a look at that part complete. That's looking nice. We'll pop that down on the bench. When I say complete, I'll deburr these holes and I'll polish it a bit later. But right now, I'm going to make a 12mm bar that goes in the lathe chuck that fits inside here that allows this to spin freely on the lathe. So I've trimmed off a bit of 1/2 inch bar. That's going to go through the guts of this, and one end's going in the drill chuck on the tailstock. That's set about 12.5, 12.6mm. I've got to take a whisker off that and run it down to about 12.05, 12.06 or thereabouts, so that it's a nice, neat but loose fit inside this. Anyway, pop it in the lathe. We'll face off the ends and clean it up. So we've got that piece of bar stock in the chuck. We'll just face the end of it off, put a center drill hole in, and then we'll drag it out and we'll machine the outside diameter down. That's 12.48 there. 12.46, so we've got a little slight bit of run out, which will be negligible, but anyway, we'll run that down to about 12.1. Okay, that's down, nearly down to 12.1. We'll run a bit of emery on that, clean it up, and then we'll test fit it with the die holder. Okay, now for the moment of truth, we'll back the tailstock off and we'll slide this bit on and see if it fits. Looking good so far. Yeah. Just a little bit there, that's good. That's perfect. Righto. We'll spin it round and we'll machine that end down to the same size. It would be nice to have a collet chuck to do that, but I don't have one, so we're just gonna wing it. And we'll slide this bit on. Not bad, not bad. All right, that's about done. What we'll do now is we'll polish this thing up. Okay, we'll give it a bash on here with the stitched wheel and the cutting compound. That's starting to look nice already. Well, that's looking all right. We'll give it a go with some polishing compound on the softer cloth. And now we'll give it a quick buff with the buffing cloth and it should be done. Okay, we'll pop that down on the bench and or on the table and have a bit of a look at that.
Well, there you go, guys. That might not be the most precisely made die holder you've seen on the net, but I'll bet it's the shiniest. Have a look at that. Beautiful. Let's chuck it in the lathe now and see if it cuts a thread.
Well, guys, I set this up and I turned down a bit of bar stock and started to film this and run it. These Temu dies aren't worth a pinch of shit. So I'll just give you an idea of what's supposed to happen. I'll have to buy some decent dies now. But we move the tailstock along to here. This slides on here like that, goes up to here. You lock your tailstock, or you turn your lathe on, and in theory you push it forward and on it goes like that. It threads itself along, cuts a thread. As I said, these dies are rubbish. They just tore the crap out of that. They're not sharp, there's no taper on them, and then when it gets to there you just simply let it go, and then you reverse your lathe and back it off, and in theory it comes off and leaves you a nice thread in there. I'm going to have to buy myself some decent dies now. But there we go. Anyway, that's me nice new die holder. Well guys, so there you have it. That's my version of a floating die holder. That's going straight to the tool room. Pity I didn't have some decent dies, as I said before. But anyway, when I get some, it'll come in real handy. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe if you liked the video, if you've got this far. And take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.